Hey guys, that was way not as dramatic as I thought it was. It just like flopped there. Welcome to Table Talk, where we discuss your topics that you send us via Twitter with the hashtag Table Talk or over at reddit.com/r/SourceFed. Let's dive right into it, Trisha. Please.
Let's do. Oh, I get to pick first.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm Elliott Morgan.
I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
Sam Basher.
Perfect.
Sam Basher.
Okay. Adrian Michele says, at I Invented Adrian, says, at SourceFedNerd, do you have any original ideas or inventions or something you believe you thought of before someone else created it?
I do. Colored salt. I stand by it. I still think it's a great idea. When you put salt on your food, you don't know how much you're putting on, especially if it's a salt shaker with which you are not familiar. And so it would help a lot if there. So I came up with the idea when I was a kid. I was like, there's gonna be colored salt. You theme them, holidays, red and green salt, orange and black salt, festive salts. And so I took a baking sheet, because I didn't understand the salt, that was made of, sodium chloride, and so some of it. And so I put it on a baking dish, and I put food coloring, and I heated up my oven. And my dad saw this happening, and he was like, great idea, that's good, I like that. And so I put it in the oven, and I baked it, and I took it out, and I was like, it works, it totally works. And I put it on my food, and it turned the color of my macaroni and cheese green. So, but this was its own cool thing. Yeah.
Was it the right amount of salt, though? That's really the question.
I nailed the amount of salt, because I could see it on the food.
Perfect, nailed it.
I know, really
love
proud
it.
of myself.
I would totally get colored salt. I'm into it.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea.
Especially for kids.
Yeah,
kids would go crazy with it.
Do you remember the colored ketchup, for Grinch when it came out? They had green ketchup.
I had purple ketchup as a kid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Totally awesome.
Weird.
I invented the Strap Perfect before the Strap Perfect was invented. Now I know all the boys are gonna go, what? It's a little contraption that takes your bra straps together in the back and hoits them together.
Reference my bra, yeah.
Just like that, just hoits them together in the back.
Oh right, the little clip thing.
Yeah. So they invented a clip for it, but in my family of large busted ladies, we used to do that with hair barrettes. LBLs is that they're called for short. Yeah, we used to do it with hair barrettes, and it works very nicely to hide your bra straps and to give you a little extra lift for the girls.
Boost.
That's cool.
That's what
you're out and about.
Try using that.
Yeah, you should.
When I was a kid, I was like, I would have to walk to school, and it was like miles away. And
I'm sorry, Grandpa.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's whatever. We have our problems. But
in the snow, right?
Yeah, in the snow. And I was like, well, it'd be really cool if there was some kind of thing you could get into, and it would take you from place to place.
Sure.
But then I grew up to at age 19, I'm like, whoa, I have a driver's license, and cars already exist for 200 years.
Oh, so you were like, what if there was a thing that was on 4 wheels that I could operate using some form of machinery? And then you realize that cars existed? Am I understanding correctly?
Okay, well, you could have made up there's airport walkway conveyor belts. You could have had that.
Oh, those are the best. Those are my favorite part of the airport. That's not true. The bars are. But
I always wanted those.
Conveyor belts are great.
I always wanted those on college campuses.
Oh,
it was
such
a far walk.
The parents would be like, "Why are you spending money on conveyor belts?" And Trish would be like, "I like it. It's fun."
And I always overloaded in courses, so I had a way heavy backpack. It would have been lovely to have a conveyor belt.
Subwave Signal says, "What is the best and or most extensive prank you have ever pulled on somebody?"
Oh, I've got great ones.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Here's a good one for April Fools,
We find out
kids.
Trisha is completely evil.
Well, I used to be obsessed with April Fools. So I think there was one year that I did all these at the same time. I Crisco'd all the doorknobs. I took all the underwear in the house, like mom's, dad's, sisters, and put it all in the freezer. So when they got to get dressed the next morning, all their undies were cold. And stuffed Oreos, untwist them. Right? And my mom's a dental hygienist, so she has that mouth nummy stuff you get at the dentist.
Razor
blades? Put it in. Not
razor
razor blades. That's me.
That'd be crazy.
You put the mouth nummy stuff in all the double stuffed Oreos, and then you put them back together and put them right back in the package. Oh and I did that and then took them to school so that when all the kids are like, I'll trade you my ham and cheese sandwich for your Oreos, I was like, okay.
You're real mean.
Oh my gosh.
And then they eat them and then their whole mouth goes numb and then they're drooling Oreo. April Fools.
Oh, it's okay. It was on April Fool's.
Oh, totally was. All of this was on April Fool's.
It was like on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I pretended to break my foot one year and came into school on crutches and made everyone carry my books all day until the end of the day when I was like, April Fool's, not really broken.
Wow. Is that like your favorite holiday? Are we
It
finding
used
out
to
that
be,
April
yeah.
Fools
It
is like
100%
your
used to be.
Christmas?
And then life got sad, and I got old, and there's way too much stuff to do, and I'm
Sure.
like, oh, is it April 1st? I didn't even know.
Well, and like pranks nowadays, like I think you kind of realize when you get older that a lot of them would be dubbed super illegal as like once you reach 18, like no longer are they like fun. Like
You
they're
can't
kind
do
of
nummy Oreos?
you get worried and paranoid.
not
Yeah,
okay?
that's called poisoning. They're called.
Nummy
But yeah,
When I was younger, I was super scared to ever like break any rule. I was like super nervous. I'm like, guys, I don't think we should go TPing. Like we shouldn't. I was like, I'll stay home. You guys
that
can do
you can
it.
legit get in trouble for.
I know, but when I was like really young, I was like, I didn't want to do anything. So one time I bought one of those gum packs that would shock you when you pull it. I did it to one person and I cried. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so mean.
wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
I'm sorry. It wasn't
baby.
worth it.
Oh,
Who,
baby.
who'd you do it to?
Huh? And my little brother, and he like.
Oh, it was a little
freaked-
brother.
Yeah.
Did he cry?
No, he was fine. He was fine. I was like just
After the therapy
I'm
and
an
everything.
emotional boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent one time. There's this. I forget. Oh, it's called Gagworks. I think is the name of the website. And when I was a kid, I found this website, and it has all sorts of like fun little pranks and gags and magic tricks. And I was a super cool kid and like played a lot of sports. So I was like, I'll buy these things. And so I took a bunch of money and I purchased it. And I didn't realize how much I'd purchased. So my mom comes home, or my mom shows up. In her car, and she's like, hey, your package came in from such and such. And I was like, really cool. I'm excited. So she opens up her trunk, and it's like the most extensive collection of pranks that I could ever have hoped for.
Awesome.
And then I realized I didn't have anybody to play pranks on. It was like summer, and I wasn't hanging out with a bunch of people. So maybe like my one friend would come over, but like your one friend, it's like that thing. You're not going to be like, hey, one friend, here's a stink bomb for you. So I would go out by myself and I would play with these pranks like stink bombs, and I'd throw it down and it would smell atrocious, and I'd play little stuff on like my siblings. But
Well,
that
you
was
were
pretty much it.
perfecting your prankster skills.
Exactly. I was a little weird kid, like in the like I'm gonna get one day this is gonna be hilarious, but right now it's kind of lonely. And I remember the simplest prank I ever did was I took the Scotch tape and I taped the nozzle on the sink and just taped it down. And so my mom, it wasn't even for April Fools, but so that means when you turn the water on to wash your hands, it shoots water directly at the person, which is a really fun one.
Have you ever fallen for like a really bad prank? Have you ever like been the
Yes.
victim?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like
Because
that
my
one.
mom got me back one April Fools. Because I was such a prankster on April Fools. Well, this year I hung a sign. Not this current year, the year I'm talking about. I hung a sign on the back of my mom's car that said "Honk at me, it's my birthday." I didn't know is that
That's solid.
what I didn't know is that she was going to get her first mammogram that day. So she's driving to the doctor's and everyone's honking at her and waving, and my poor mom's like, "Do they all know where I'm going?"
Is it
and
on
she
my
was
face?
mortified. So she comes out of the doctor's office, walks back to her car, and sees this sign and is like, "Duh, it's April 1st, Trisha." So she gets me back by calling my school and having the principal's office do one of those like big announcements over the loudspeaker where it's like, "Can Trisha Hirschberger please report to the principal's office immediately?" And everyone's like, "Ooh." And I never got in trouble. So I was like, what is this? And so I get called to the principal's office, and my principal got an Academy Award this day. She was like, I can't even speak about what you did. I'm so disappointed. I can't
Principal
even.
was having a blast with it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh God. And I'm thinking, did they know that I erased the GR in the word grass in the
did they find the
biology book?
cocaine?
Did they, that's vandalism? Could I go to jail? I'm like freaking out. And my mom came to pick me up from school that day because I was in so much trouble. And my principal just started laughing hysterically
great.
when they got there. My mom totally punked me back. So good one,
That's
Mom.
good stuff. I fell for a prank when yesterday. Because, it was a reversal of a prank, I guess, or like a kind of a subsidiary prank, because Steve had this thing that would go, "Fat," and it would say like the F word, I guess. And
Fart. It said fart.
Oh, fart, okay.
Yeah, it said
The
fart
other
and a
F word.
couple other not nice things.
And so he taped it under the desk that we have in the shooting room, and every 10 to 15 minutes, it would go, "Fart." And so since Friday, like when we were doing like the ultimate pop culture, and it's me and Norg in the room, and like we're filming, and then we'll be in the middle of a take, and we're like, "Bleh," and we would look everywhere and we couldn't find it. So then
It's really tiny, P.S. I made it taped under the table.
So I'm sitting in the room yesterday, in the writer's room, and I'm on the computer or whatever doing my thing, and all of a sudden Lee and Ross were in the shooting room, and they come in and they go, "Guys," and I see Norg like directly behind them filming this. I'm like, something's up. and Lee's like, they bugged the shooting room.
Mm-hmm.
They've been listening to everything we say in there. And in my mind, I had a heart attack. I had an aneurysm in that moment, and I was just like, no. But I kept cool because I was being filmed, so I didn't want to be like, wait, no, and because that would imply guilt. It would implicate me basically. So I made my face go totally stone, and I'm just like this. And then Lee, look at Lee in the eye, and Lee just goes.
Yeah.
And she immediately breaks, and I was like, wait a minute, this is a prank. Elliott, tell yourself this is a prank. And then it ended up being a prank. So everything was okay. What about you?
Well, when I was in high school, I did swim, and we had like dinners before big meets. And before one of our like biggest meets in the middle of the season, one of the swimmers was like, "Oh, it'd be so funny is if we put laxatives in the brownies." And I was like,
funny.
It was like a side thing when he said it, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna do it to the other team?" He's like, "No, he's gonna do it to his own team." So families, children. Everybody ate it. No one could compete, and people were saying he got it suspended. But like that was
I
not
like how
a
you
funny
like
prank.
throw that away. Yeah, bro totally should have gotten suspended.
The bro totally should have been suspended.
He
but
poisoned children.
Yeah.
You're swimming in cold water in like little tiny swim trunks, and you have laxatives.
Yeah.
That's so
That's a recipe for disaster
No
and
one
disease.
wants to poop in front of their family in
not at all.
public.
All right.
No, not
What
okay.
you got there? That's a horrible
I may do
story.
mouth numbing
it's a good
Oreos,
story,
but no poop in your pool.
Poor team.
All right, we got from Twitter, Scott A.G. Thomas asks, what is the first memory you have of your life? Mine is being terrified by my sister's glow-in-the-dark statue at night. Hashtag table talk.
Joe has a cool story because they were talking about the other day. He remembers like sitting in his car, and one of his favorite songs is Careless Whisper. So he says he remembers like the streetlights and Careless Whisper playing, which I feel like seems like such a movie. Like my first memory is when I had swimming lessons, and I was at this pool that was in Florida, and I have very vague memories of it. I was maybe 3, and I have a really bad long-term memory, and I just remember like swimming around. That's interesting.
I see that. You know, they say you have a poor long-term memory the more you use your short-term memory and forget it.
Oh.
Like the more you practice using your short-term memory, which
Really?
actors do a lot because we memorize lines very, very quickly and then we get rid of them to memorize the next one.
I have a theory that I just don't. I focus too heavily on my future, and then as a part of that comes with forgetting what happened behind me. And I also don't stay in the present like Oprah says I should, or said I should. Rest in peace, Oprah.
What?
Just kidding.
Okay. So I got really confused.
That's how SourceFed breaks news now. We just like randomly say things. What was your first memory? Do you remember?
My first memory, I think, was. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think in chronological order which one came first, but I do remember things from when I was really little, and they're just like kind of like flashes. Like being in, my dad had this like backpack baby carrier thing, like being in that and like hiking through the woods by our house in the backpack. Like I just remember like what it looked like.
That's cool. Yeah, it's weird how they're flashes.
Yeah, and I remember also loving television as a kid, like loving, like before I could walk, just sitting down, like I could work a remote control before I could walk, and like not like little kiddie TV either. I was like, Gone with the Wind is awesome when I was like 2.
Real edgy stuff, real adult themes, you know.
I loved that movie.
I want to take a moment though. Scott A.G. Thompson says that his first memory is his sister's glow-in-the-dark statue at night, but he doesn't say what the statue is of. So I'd like to think that his first memory is a glow-in-the-dark statue of his sister, which
That'd
is
be crazy.
awesome.
I was gonna say one of
Can
those.
you imagine? Because you'd think it was a demon for sure.
I was gonna say, what if it's one of those glow-in-the-dark like Virgin Mary statues?
Maybe.
That'd
It
be
could
creepy.
It
as
doesn't
hell
specify.
At night.
It could be whatever we want it to be, Scott. I'm imagining it's your sister. Trisha is going Virgin Mary over
What's
here.
the sister doing though?
Well, I like to think it's like super soft, just like petrified, like Harry Potter. So she was probably in the middle of getting in trouble. But Scott's witch and warlock parents were like, abracadabra, a Harry Potter spell, and the sister was like, "What? No, I was just." Bleh. And so it's probably like that. She's probably in the middle of getting caught red-handed, probably
Parents
stealing
put it like
candy.
right by the bed just to haunt him.
And so yeah, exactly. And so the parents are like, look at what happened to your. This is what happens to the bad children. And then they're like, we're gonna cut you up. And so Scott's actually probably having a really hard childhood, and I feel like we should all like take a moment and say a prayer for him. And Scott, dude, if you need help, and if this is kind of like a thinly veiled sort of like I'm trapped by mythical creatures I'm with you. You might need to get other people's attention, a little bit. I wouldn't recommend strictly going through social media, YouTube channels for help. You can ask friends and family in a very subtle way, just like, hey, my parents petrified my sister. Please help.
Like we could say SourceFed and SourceFedNerd are on your side, but I don't know how much good that's
magic.
gonna do.
There's only so much we can do. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to magic, we don't have that.
We're not wizards and witches.
We're not experts.
And I would keep in mind it's Halloween, so your parents are probably gonna be going out and they're gonna have their little cauldron or whatever, and they're gonna be like, it's a decoration, but you're gonna know because you have your creepy glow in the dark sister staring at you.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Okay, let's do one more to close it out. Here we go, guys. Do you want to read it? Did you do one yet? Do it.
All right, from Reddit, toilets for your feet asks if you could combine two animals together. If you can combine two animals together to create the ultimate animal, what would it be?
My immediate go-to is Liger from Unholy Dynamite.
They did that, yeah.
That was
Ligers
done.
are together. You know what I saw the other day? And these aren't two different animals. I saw this creature, rumor has it, called a Pomsky. It's a Pomeranian and a Husky. Put together.
I should have known it was a dog.
So my two animals put together would be a dog and a dog, but specifically a Pomeranian and a Husky, because they're like Huskies that are they look like puppies and they stay like puppies, but they're tiny. They got the big blue eyes, and apparently, from what I read, a lot of they have really cool personality, majestic, I'm like a Husky, but then they have the Pomeranian.
You
That's
love
really
dogs
cute.
so
Yeah, that's
much,
really
Elliott.
I would want to buy 7 of them and just kind of keep them as a
Should make
blanket.
a little sled team. With little
Oh,
Huskies?
yeah.
That'd be real cute.
Yeah, I would need to have a little I'd need to grab somebody's petrified glow in the dark sister to operate them around, but it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I want a cat dog. I want the cartoon. I want a cat dog. I want a cat and a dog together. I want the
Half like that?
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work, how they
no
eat
one does.
things,
Yeah.
but
they
it
made
would
a cartoon.
be real cute.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I guess, I don't know, I'm trying to think of animals I like, which is a small list for me. So it's hard to...
Let's, how about this? Freaking chimpanzee,
Love monkeys.
hold out, combine with the human, get ourselves a couple Sasquatches roaming about.
No. They rip off your face.
Just get a couple Sasquatches that are they're basically, you reverse make the missing link, and then you send them off into the wild to hunt and capture things.
People.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like people in the woods.
Yeah.
How cool would that be if you were camping and you saw a Sasquatch, and then somebody was like,
And then-
"It's mine."
What about-
I combined it. It's a human. It's a long story. It was a table talk. It was good.
Well, what about a turkey vulture combined with a capuchin monkey? So it's real life winged monkeys.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, okay.
That'd
yeah.
be cool.
I was thinking a turkey with a monkey head, and I was like,
No, turkey vultures are real big birds.
Trisha's just trying to make the ugliest animal that she possibly can.
Well, turkey vultures are pretty gosh darn ugly, so I added the
Yeah.
capuchin monkey in there to cute it up.
that's adorable.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, and what 2 animals would you guys combine? Let us know
Yeah.
in the comments down below.
And also, what would you feed them?
And what would you feed them? And don't forget, in the future, after you're done writing what you would feed them, write down some topics for future table talks on Twitter, hashtag table talk.
Nailed it.
Or you can go to reddit.com/r/SourceFed. I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
I'm Elliott Morgan.
I'm Sam Basher.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I think we did
Yeah.
it. That was pretty much a good table talk from what I
You think?
could. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have many points of reference for it.
I'm excited for April 1st now, y'all.
Yeah,
y'all
me too.
beware.
I might
I'm
call in sick
scared.
if you're there. I'm gonna be like, sorry.
It's gonna be amazing.
I'm
I'll
sick
come up with
because
something.
Trisha's gonna be there.
I'll
I'm
come
gonna
up with
saran wrap all
something
the toilets.
absolutely awesome. Well, that just makes messes, and I don't
Saran
want
wrap the
someone.
toilet?
Yeah, because then people pee everywhere. I don't want someone to have to clean it up. That's not nice.
Have you done the quarter down the face?
No.
You know
What's
the
that?
quarter down the face?
Oh, I know
Yeah.
where you put pencil all over.
What?
You put I do Sharpie because it's more permanent, but
Oh,
you put
good.
Sharpie around the edge of a coin, and then you tell the person try to make it roll down your face without using your hands.
Yeah,
So
and drop it
it
down.
draws
Makes a line.
lines all over their face, and they get real frustrated usually, and that's
Yeah.
when it gets funny.
And ends up being they get
You
I
can
can't
do
believe
that.
You pulled that prank.
You
on
can
me.
do that with mugs too. Put something around the ring of a mug and then.
I've never heard that.
Ooh.
I like
You
that.
can do that
I like
too.
that.
Nothing poisonous though. Don't
No.
poison your friend.
No laxatives.
Don't
That's-
poison.
that's
No,
just a
yeah. Can I
daily
vote
one,
no laxatives, please? Steve already poops too much.
Steve is a laxative, yeah.